This is the Infinity Summit Group. Truth, passion, success.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Infinity Summit Group podcast. Today is April 12th this time, 2021. I'm Noah.
Xavier.
Logan.
Jesse.
And we got a guest here today.
Jacob.
Beautiful Lions mane, Jacob.
Our reoffending
Jacob,
guest,
it is.
actually.
Jacob.
Yes, it's Jacob. Thank you. Hello.
We've had him on before.
Now, do you prefer Jake
Yes.
or Jacob?
Jacob.
Really?
Yeah.
What about Jakey?
That's fine because you're my people, but when people use it too familiarly,
Like Noe? Come on.
it sticks me out a little bit.
Twat?
I'm not going to make like a stink about it, but like when it's not my people and they're like, oh, Jakey boy, I'm like, what? I'm a man. I'm a man now. I'm a real man.
You see this facial hair right here?
Yes.
I worked hard on this. All right, now, Mr. Stanky, this man you've been obsessed with. What the hell's his name?
I'm gonna look at it right now. Did you guys have a structured
No,
list this time?
there's
No?
nothing.
We
No,
never
sir.
do.
We will start out in the open.
Yeah.
This is
For
it.
those of you who
Exciting.
listen, we do not structure these podcasts. Literally every time, it's free balling.
It's free willy,
Sometimes.
yeah.
I feel like sometimes we
There's
have
minor
a topic.
structure.
but-
when we
The
talk
most
about the
structure we get,
books.
yeah, is a book. So.
Yeah, when there's like minor
12
spark
rules.
notes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Bullet
Here are the
points.
12 rules.
Yeah. So the guy's name is Mark Rebelit, and that's not how you pronounce his last name, but yeah.
Hey, can you text that to Xavier, the
Yeah.
name, so he can link this page?
Yes.
Is he
That way they
better?
know who we're talking about.
Is he better than Alan Watts to you?
He's
A different kind of better.
Yes, he's like he's chaos energy. You know how you have that? Yeah,
It's
like
just
that,
some
but-
dude.
Rar.
It's just some dude being wild.
What? Yeah. What does he do? Is it videos of him
Is he just
doing
fucking
He just
violent
sings-
or what?
He sings random stuff.
yeah.
Weird.
Just off the cusp music things. I think I might have sent something of him to you. That alarm thing was it? Did I send that to Tanner? I sent that to Tanner. All right.
How is Tanner? Is he happy, healthy, and whole?
Tanner is doing Tanner things. I think
Was he happy, healthy, and whole?
when
Is he okay?
Is he alive?
he's alive. He's in the chat. That's for sure.
Do we need
That's
to pray
good.
for him?
No.
No.
He's just going on
Maybe.
some experiences.
Everyone's
Last I checked.
everyone's just doing
He's
their thing, but
Partying.
what?
What are
What
these
happened?
pictures?
I don't know. Your
don't know.
TV just you exited out and everyone got distracted. So.
All
No,
right,
I didn't
yeah.
exit out. I'm still right here.
Go away from me, phone.
Yeah,
I will
updates.
text you that later. Xavier,
I didn't
if
even
that
know we had a
works.
bunch of these pictures.
I won't let you guys get distracted no more. Here you go.
Yeah. How the hell did we get here?
I don't understand.
I need all these pictures. What the heck?
They're on the dot.
Yeah, they're literally on Drive. On the Google Drive. I don't know.
Never even seen it.
Oh, I'll bet you Tammy uploaded them.
Oh,
Today.
okay. Because I was gonna say.
Or maybe she sent them to me and then I uploaded them.
that wasn't too long ago. Because we just got our sweaters recently.
Yeah.
That's true.
So you know the Lights Out podcast?
Yes.
I told you about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Watch the Toy Box Killer.
I actually saw that in my recommended lately, but I didn't watch it.
Is that the one who had that trailer out in the middle of the
Yeah.
desert? Yeah.
Over $100,000 worth of fucking tools and shit.
Have you read his transcript or listened
Yes.
to it?
Yes.
Just sicks me out. I've read it twice and I'm just.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
It hurts
Most
me.
things I'm all, oh yeah, this is fine, whatever.
No, after
Not this
that,
one.
I'm
I was sick. yeah.
Why is
physically
is
ill.
just such
What
a
happened?
he's in
Let's-
just
So
such a
he'll
dark
fucking
place.
kidnap you, drug you. This is a real thing he would do. He died in 2002, I think. But either way, he would drug you, kidnap you, put you in a trailer, and then
In the middle of the Nevada desert or Arizona? Do you
I
remember?
don't remember.
It was desert.
Middle of the fucking nowhere, and so nobody can hear you scream, nobody can hear anything, and it's just young teenager girls that he does. So he gets you in a chair, and then as you're waking up from the drugs, then he has a tape auto recorded, and he'll play it, and it's like, you've been kidnapped, we're gonna rape you, you're gonna hate your life, like all this weird shit.
Tells him exactly what him and his wife are going to
Yeah.
do to these kids.
Actually, I
This,
know. I
this is
believe
gonna
I heard of
last
this.
between 1 and 3 months. We don't want to kill you, but we will kill you. We will slit your throat. Like
yeah.
this dude's fucked up, and then he'll just
Is this the one?
That's
where-
terrible
then he,
stuff to him.
And then he would drug them again and make them forget, and most of them thought it was a bad
Yeah,
dream when
yeah.
they woke up.
No, I did hear about
In-
this.
Wait,
Insane.
he didn't kill them though.
He
A lot
killed
of them
some
he
of
wouldn't
them.
Kill, yeah.
He just let him go.
Yeah, but he would drug them in such a way and kind of wipe their memory where they wouldn't even remember. They'd think it was a bad dream.
What a fucked up human being.
Dude, it was... Reading that transcript just makes you the illest you ever been.
Kind of makes me want to just find this person.
He's dead. Don't even worry.
Oh, he's so dead.
He died from a heart attack, dude. He got off so easy.
I was gonna say that's not even enough.
Yeah, isn't this the guy?
He needs more.
Isn't this the guy that had been doing it for so many years?
Yeah.
Like because he was traveling cross country doing it, or like he went to different areas, so
To kidnap him?
Yeah, so the police couldn't pinpoint anything like that.
Yeah.
And didn't tie any of it together until pretty much they found out about it.
No, it was until one girl escaped and she was running down the street naked and fucking bloody everywhere.
Oh, really?
And then people are all, what in the hell? What in the chick dick? What is this?
That would be
unfortunate to see in the middle of the
it
desert.
would.
Someone running naked, bloody. You're
dude.
like, oh no.
Yep. Who touched
Not
you?
what I meant.
Do I stay or
by
do
a
I go
hobby.
now?
It's a bad hobby.
Do I run it over?
Yeah, he got away with it for a long time. It's fucked up. Makes me sick.
Ugh, yeah.
So did he go to prison and then get a heart attack?
Yeah, he went to prison. It was either 3 months or 3 years, and he just died.
What about his wife?
She's out.
What? She's
needs
out
to
there
die
in the
too.
world right now?
Yeah, she's she's
Why?
available. Single too, probably. Terrible.
No, God, no.
But why? Why did she get off? Did she plea that he brainwashed her too, or something? There
Well,
had to have been
yeah, she
something
was
like
claiming that she was a victim. She was forced into it, but no, not in the videos and everything that they have. But it's just weird.
Yeah, the more we
And you
talk
should
about
probably
it,
watch
the
it.
sicker I get even.
Yeah, it makes me feel violent. Like,
Every
oh,
time.
Oh god.
watch your neighbors.
That's why I have
I-
trust issues.
Well, I like
Yeah,
those type of things. I used to like watching murder mystery things,
No,
and
dog.
like in the mind of a killer type things like that. But it ended up getting to me. I ended up being very cynical from it, and so I actually just kind of took a respite because when you're looking for the positive things in life, you see it, and when you're looking for the negative, you see it, and you kind of manifest it. Like for me, it was like going into stores and stuff after I'd seen that, I'm like, you're probably a murderer, you're secretly evil,
Yeah.
all these type of things, and then it just kind of the world reflects your view,
Oh, yeah. I was listening to a podcast for a while. It talked about all these crazy murderers. And I started just getting a nasty view of the world every day. I was like, everyone's out to kill me,
Yeah.
It was bad. Carrying my gun everywhere. Just the gun that I lost on the boat.
Yeah, me too.
But anyway, yeah, it was crazy.
You lost a gun?
We lost all of our guns.
Yeah, in a boat crash.
Terrible.
When did this happen?
It happened to like a lot of Americans, to be honest with you.
Yeah, a lot of people lose their guns in boat crashes.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you guys crashed on a boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, just this last year.
It's terrible.
You see the patches in our boat up here? You'll have to look after.
Nobody said anything.
Nobody had to go to the hospital.
Yeah,
We were
we're good.
We were good.
Just-
We'll show you after the podcast, guys. Don't even worry about it.
I feel like a fucking idiot right now.
Don't. It's all right. I'm okay now. I survived. I had a life jacket.
yeah.
My guns didn't make it.
Yeah,
yeah.
we just almost drowned. No big deal.
Yeah.
Oh.
Lost all our guns.
The guns and bullets drowned. No
We're
way,
good to go now.
bro.
We had insurance.
Yeah, thank God those are gone. They're fucking dangerous. Fuck.
Anyway. Did you run into the rocks or something or hit another person? What the fuck happened?
Zay, we'll talk after the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. We're good. Your guns also got lost in a boat crash.
Your guns got lost in a boat crash. Don't you remember?
Everyone's guns got
was
lost in a boat
tragic.
crash.
It was a tragic pileup. Millions of Americans have this issue. One of the most dangerous things in the summer, they say. Yeah.
Yeah, but It was a scary time in our lives.
All right.
Glad we're past it.
Speaking of guns, we can talk about Biden's things that he was trying to do.
What was that?
He's a sick bitch.
Six executive orders. I
Yep.
don't know exactly what they were, but
For gun control?
So the
Yeah.
first one was banning ghost guns. So that's basically
can
where
have a gun
the-
without a serial number.
well,
That's already
that's
illegal.
what that no, it's not.
Isn't it?
That's
You
what
just
it
can't
is,
sell
but
it.
they'll send you a kit. Like you can just buy kits off the internet.
Oh.
And it's a kit of a gun, and then you have to buy like the trigger or whatever separately. That comes through an actual store, but they don't come with serial numbers.
Yeah.
So he's trying, or he did ban them. I don't really know, but he bans them to where you can't buy them now. So you can't build your own guns because they're not trackable, even though with 3D printers.
Yeah, you can 3D print your own guns.
So
Not
that's
hard.
common
You can
sense.
make one with an air compressor. Come on now.
I mean, yeah, you can. Whatever. Moral of the story, he did that. The one that we should really be scared about, though, is the red flag laws, which can be state to state, but he's trying to pass it federally.
Doesn't
So-
matter.
And
So it'd be
what
it
is
would
the-
matter if he passed it federally.
What does that?
No,
what
because
does that
like
cover?
Ogden
So the
made
red-
themselves a two-way sanctuary.
The red flag
That's
law
good.
is basically if your neighbor thinks you are
Oh,
mentally unstable, they can tell the government and they can come take your guns
Yeah.
because your
That's-
neighbor said you're
wow.
mentally unstable.
I think
That's
Utah's on
dangerous.
the list to become a two-way sanctuary, anyways. But
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
we also have constitutional carry coming up soon, which will
Yeah, that's June. It's the middle of June, I think, or at the beginning.
I thought it was May. I thought we were pretty close to it.
Oh, it wasn't May?
June might be the two-way sanctuary. I
Okay.
think. Maybe I got it wrong, but that's what I thought.
That would
Here,
be
I'll look it
sexy.
up.
But either way, the constitutional carry, that's just where if you're 21 and older, then you can carry the pistol openly without getting a permit.
Yeah,
Openly,
you
I
can-
thought, and
Like
concealed
carry.
as well.
Or yeah, that's what I meant, but
Concealed
openly is
without-
already
May
Already
5th for
legal.
concealed
Yeah.
carry.
sweet. That is
Nice.
only if you're 21, though.
Yes.
Can't stress
Make
that
that
enough, or
clear.
else you'll get toasted.
You'll get toasted, taking your guns away and everything.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a very dangerous thing. I think that's one of the more scary things. I think is when they try and publicly source it. That could get what would you say?
Civil war.
That could escalate very quickly, and it's a dangerous thing because essentially what you'd be doing,
It
I
looks
guess
like
conceptually, is you'd be pointing a gun at someone. In the sense that if you are red flagging someone else, you'd be pointing the gun of the government at them in the
Yeah.
sense that it's like, I don't think you're fit to do this, and because for some reason my judgment is overly valid, then I can sick the state on you essentially.
Yeah.
That's dangerous for many reasons, I think.
Yeah.
It's just a suicide mission for the cops.
Yeah.
Nobody is going to be willing to just, here's my gun. So that's why they would have to do it at midnight, like they've talked about. No knock warrant, bust right in, midnight. What are you going to do
Yeah.
when a fucking SWAT team comes in? And that's exactly what it would be.
Yeah.
A couple more of those happen, and people are going to be sleeping with loaded guns next to them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
here I am.
So I'll sleep with it on my.
Well, it's
I'll
in the
sleep
boat,
next
but
to my
Yes.
AR. I'll cuddle it instead of my pillow.
yeah, no big deal.
It's a dangerous
sleep with
game.
it
The
on
one
my
I lost,
nightstand.
actually. Never mind.
Yeah, it's very, very lost.
Yep, they're gone.
He was also trying to ban something with the pistols that make it more accurate or whatever.
Is it like a long barrel on a pistol?
I don't
No, it
even
was
know.
the stock. How you can put a stock on a pistol.
They're banning
It
that.
essentially makes it a
He sh-
rifle.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
But okay, pistols are used in more shootings than rifles. Big brain.
But it makes it accurate, dog.
Yeah, but
but-
you would want your gun to be more accurate, because if not, then you'll be shooting fucking randomly.
Yes, you'd rather hit than miss.
That's
Well-
right.
well, slow
but not in
down.
Joe Biden's eyes.
We're
Can't even walk upstairs.
Well, wait. We're talking emotional logic here. You need to use your heart brain.
My heart.
No,
brain
he's
says
fucking
I shoot 'em
handicapped.
If they come in my house,
Yeah.
that's
Ah.
that's got to be more terrifying.
My heart brain says is screaming terrorism.
Shall not,
Not
be
sure whether I'm
infringed.
giving or receiving yet. Just kidding.
Uh,
Yes, shall not be infringed. My heart doth ache for that.
yeah, going back
Yep.
just for a second to those red flag laws as well. It's such a
Where's
Twilight
these
Zone
pride
type
flag
of thing.
laws? That's what we need. We need more love.
Need more love.
Yes.
In whatever brand, I guess it comes.
Yeah.
Consensually,
Doesn't matter. We just
consensually.
need more of it.
Uh,
Red flag laws, yeah, bad.
Yeah,
bad.
Very bad. Scary.
lost my train of thought. Just-
Unconstitutional.
Sorry, I had to.
no, it's acceptable.
The gays will do that to you. Can't think of anything else. They're just flashy. It's awesome. Some of them.
Well, luckily, a lot of the sheriffs say that they just won't even fuck with
it's
it.
a death sentence.
Wasn't
if they
Utah
passed
County?
a law
It was saying,
and Uinta County,
Yeah.
or no,
yeah.
Cache
Cash.
Cache
Yep.
County. That's what it was.
Mhm.
He said, "No, I'm not gonna do that."
Utah County is a 2A sanctuary. So is Uinta, and maybe Weber.
Utah really is a good state.
It is.
They're trying to make all of Texas a 2A sanctuary. Like that'll be coming soon.
I bet if
what
that
is a
happens,
2A?
lots of states will follow.
Oh yeah.
What is
Second
a 2A?
Amendment?
Oh, is that what it is?
Second
Yeah, Second
Amendment.
Amendment
2A
sanctuary.
sanctuary, yeah.
Oh,
so
it's
no
not
federal
2A.
gun laws will count,
Mhm.
basically.
Yeah. So the question would be then: Are they just gonna impose those same laws in the state, or
What do you mean?
And also, if there's a federal law and the states say no, you can still have federal agents arrest you in the state for
Sure.
going against their laws.
At what?
Interesting.
Send all your federal troops. There's a lot more Americans.
Yeah, it's kind of oddly tangled because I was thinking about this the other day.
You want to scoot a little closer?
Yeah, I was thinking about this the other day in regards to like the non-legalization of marijuana in Utah, and
So stupid.
It's because the church.
well, yeah,
Fuck
see,
'em.
well, see, that's what my point
want
was.
some grass.
Me too.
When the church and state seem to be so intertwined here, which is constitutionally invalid.
It's not part of the Constitution.
Is it not?
Separation
it's-
of church and state.
Is that what is that part of? Is it?
It might be.
It's
It's not the
It's
Constitution.
you're
right?
correct.
It's
It's
one
not
of
the
amendments.
Constitution.
Bill of Rights.
No, that's where
No.
Is it in the Declaration of Independence?
What?
No,
Just
look
look
it
it
up.
be. It's
it's going to be in the creating laws of the land after the Constitution.
Yeah.
Although the Constitution creates the basic powers.
Well, what,
Yeah.
regardless.
The first
I
clause
guess-
in the Bill of Rights states that Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion. Okay, that's not it.
Well,
Anyway.
regardless, wherever I'm pulling that from, my bad on the misquote. Wherever I'm pulling that from, it seems to me that it ends up being person to person on what is more morally outrageous, because I believe personally that it would have been passed if the church didn't essentially send a shout out to all of its members saying Jesus hates weed.
Don't pass it. Yeah.
Yeah. So at that point, I'm just saying that as a
Bet you
reflection.
Jesus did weed.
Yeah, like I
Just
doubt
kidding,
it.
I don't even know if
Not
it-
then, but
I think weed was Native American kind of thing, right?
I'm not honestly sure from where it
Hoga,
hailed.
hoga,
Zay,
hoga, hoga.
What's the origins of weed?
Marijuana?
You gotta
Yes.
be.
What?
I don't know.
What?
All right.
Regardless, anyway, pulling back to my point, just so I can finish it up. I'm sorry, I'm long-winded.
Jamaica. Sorry.
Okay. I'm gonna finish this. All right. So, essentially, that idea just ties back to the gun laws thing, where essentially with our Second Amendment right, do we? Because personally, I value that and think it's more fundamental and underlying than whatever could be passed in what would you say, opposition to that. So yeah, essentially, I was tying that with the gun laws thing and saying it just seems to me you would have to choose one at one point, and it kind of, I guess at this point it's starting to seem like everyone's going to have to choose which ground to stand on, because you're going to have to start standing on ground or you're going to get pushed off of it.
Yeah. And it's looking like a lot of the states are fighting back against the gun laws, which I'm liking.
Pretty
Yes.
heavy, and all those. Did
Way
you guys
cool.
see that those corporations? There's like 100 different, like real big corporations were having a meeting on basically how to influence laws. About that, how their issues with Georgia's voting laws. Yeah, and how to stop it from happening in other states, basically.
Oh, dang.
That's
Yeah.
hella bad.
Seems sketchy.
Yeah, it's like Coke and United Airlines and all sorts of financial companies and investment firms and all sorts of shit.
To influence laws, like the making of laws.
Essentially, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was, they didn't like the Georgia voting laws, and basically their whole meeting was, how do we stop this from happening again?
What was the Georgia voting laws? Did you guys already go
But
over
going
it?
back to normal, we didn't. That's Tim Pool said that. It was basically going back to normal instead of the COVID stuff, requiring an ID, all sorts of jazz, you know.
Like how it should be.
Yeah.
And they said, how do we prevent that?
Yeah, like,
How can we rig elections, basically?
yeah, that's exactly what it was.
That's just what we love, you know? That's what we love about corporate America. We can rig the elections and, yeah.
Are you talking about the MLB?
No, there was 100 companies that did it, but yeah, that too. MLB definitely pulled out.
The MLB went wherever they went. I don't remember where it was.
Colorado, Nevada. Yeah, Nevada, I think.
One of them, but they have stricter laws in the Georgia.
Yeah.
And the Georgia law, what they were all freaking out about is, like the main one was because they were saying, oh, they're not allowed to have food or water in the line, but within 100 feet or whatever. But what it was is if you're wearing Joe Biden or a Trump shirt or whatever, like supporting that candidate, then you can't be giving out incentives to vote for that people. So that's what it was. And then they're all, oh, that's racist, whatever. Just like, no. So they still can have food and water in the line.
You just can't be
For
wearing
the voting
any
booth.
apparel or merchandise of a.
Yeah, of a candidate.
Mm-hmm.
That's perfectly logical.
It's a bunch of dumb shiz.
Yeah, I think I should be able to wear what I want,
Yeah, exactly.
you know? But obviously, any sort of coercion at the voting booth is and
Bribery,
should be illegal.
basically.
Yeah.
That's why they said no, you can't do it. But
Right, but like me wearing what I want is not coercion.
well, if you're voting, it's fine. But you can't be giving like food to everyone in line if you're wearing a vote for Biden shirt.
Oh,
That's the issue they have.
got it.
It doesn't matter if you're voting; it's the people that are like campaigning there. Basically,
Got it.
can't
So
do
no
it.
campaigning at the voting booth.
Basically, yeah.
Essentially, yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Pretty sure that's already
The,
illegal.
the campaign is meant to be before the vote.
Yep.
Amen. I dig that a lot.
Do you think, like, what percentage of Americans do you think already decide what candidate they're going to go with before the campaign?
75% at least.
95, I'll bet.
It's a massive percentage.
Because I think everybody I knew already knew who they were going to vote for before
yeah.
they even started campaigning.
I think it's less certain now than it was, but yeah.
That's true.
That's true. Very true. After this last campaign cycle, it was-
Shit show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll call it that. To put it lightly, it's terrible.
Tim Pool should run.
He won't. I wouldn't either. It's too much work.
Yeah, but he should. It's a good thought.
It's a good thought.
He's left leaning, but he'd be cool.
Yeah.
He's so pro 2A though. It's
Yeah,
That's
incredible.
what I like.
Yeah. We'd get that, but we'd also get a lot of social programs with it. So. But
Take what
I
you-
That's
I
like,
really like his thoughts.
If we could
What the hell
go
is her
all the way
name?
On a
full
lot of
2A,
stuff.
I could deal with some socialism for a little bit.
Yeah.
It'd get out eventually.
Hmm.
Maybe not, but if I could keep my guns forever.
Well,
Shall not be
what's the
infringed.
Hawaii lady's
No.
name? I like her a lot.
Hawaiian
I
lady?
don't know.
Not Candace Owens?
No.
She's not
She's
from
not
Hawaii.
white. Is she white?
Isn't she from Detroit?
I have no
couldn't
clue.
even tell you.
That's why I asked not
I know
Candace
exactly
Owens.
who it is.
Or Chicago?
So it's very interesting because if we could have a leader who would like stop the foreign aid or at least slow it down considerably with the same amount of taxes we're paying, we could have universal health care. We could have all these universal programs. That's just like,
Yeah.
it's insanity. It's like if we're already paying it, then why don't we have these things?
Tulsi Gabbard.
Oh.
I like
she's-
her.
Oh, okay.
She's lefty, but I like her, yeah.
Because you got
Well,
other
no.
countries out there that don't do a bunch of foreign aid and they pay less taxes than we do, and they have universal health care. They've got great benefit systems, great vacation required across the board every year. It's just like,
They're also, most countries are more homogenous than America.
yeah, that's
What's that
true.
mean?
Same,
Same
race,
race,
same
Culture.
culture. Like Scandinavia. They're
Mhm.
all the same. You come to America and you're going to find 70 different groups, you know?
It's a melting pot, yeah.
So it's harder to have things make sense culturally for everyone.
It's majority white, but there's still a crap ton of
Yeah.
everything
Yeah,
else.
you know, I mean, you don't even have to have things make sense culturally. It's like, okay,
Well, it's like fundamentally, like you come to America and the idea is you can get anywhere. You know, freedom's awesome, all this jazz. It's
yeah,
kind of like
not
the
when your
same
money's being
underlying.
siphoned away to the rest of the world.
Yeah,
Not
that's
anymore.
Like, that's the idea, though.
Yeah.
Is you're living, I guess. How do you put it? Everyone's got the same idea. This is the land of the free. This is the best place on earth.
Yeah, land of the free, home of the brave.
What
Yeah,
is the
so-
best?
It's the American dream.
That
And it still is the best, but
that used to be the consensus. I think
Well, yeah, that's why it worked for a long time.
Yeah.
That's why it's fallen apart.
anyone
is they
who
don't have it
doesn't
no
live
more.
here still feels that way. Anyone
Yep.
who lives here doesn't feel that way. Isn't that interesting?
That is true.
So as soon as we were to travel to another part of the world, I'm sure we would see exactly what we did have.
Not the UK people.
That's
Oh,
why
really?
They don't like them.
When I
either.
game with them, none of them. They're like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?"
That's
just,
fine.
Just
Yeah.
tell them,
They've
hey,
got
I'm
a
just
queen.
sitting with my gun.
Yeah.
Can you sit with your guns?
Yep. You
They-
can sit with your fake cigarettes.
They have to go get a warrant from the police to transfer a gun.
Canada too.
Yeah.
I think
Knives,
California's
yeah.
at that point
You
as
have
well.
to like write a letter to the police and have
Maybe
them
not that
and
bad,
tell
though.
them what time you're going to be having the gun,
Yep.
where you're going with it, all of this stuff.
Mhm. If you
And then a
deviate
lot of
from the-
countries you can't keep ammo with the guns.
Yeah.
it's so nebulous. It's
Cracker
so,
Jack.
Oh. It's so odd to me too because it's not like their crime rates are lower in the UK or anything like that. If anything, it's been showing the opposite in most statistics.
Yeah,
Like
knives go up, knife attacks,
Yeah, well-
acid attacks, bombs.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like it doesn't stop criminality. If anything, it kind of loosens the barrier on it. 'Cause,
Humanity will find the way for violence.
yeah, I don't know. It's odd to me because I think it's quite a logical conclusion that if the what would you say, if the law-abiding citizens are armed, it's a lot less likely that people are going to try and take things from them. You know what I mean?
Oh,
if
yeah.
if all of your sheep are wearing armor, I guess. You know what I
If
mean?
Oh,
everyone's
wait.
open carrying or even concealed carrying, you're not going to have
An
a mass
armed
shooter.
society is a polite society.
We've just surpassed 400 million gun sales. Not just this year,
This
but like
year?
400 million guns in America.
Yeah, I seen
I
something.
thought
the
we
other
had
day
way
that
more
was-
than that. I thought we had 1.28 guns per American in America.
That might have still been true.
Really?
I
So is
thought we
that
did.
just this year?
That might have been
Holy
400 million
fuck.
this year.
Let's see.
That I would believe
Yeah, that
because
actually sounds more accurate.
everyone
to
and
me.
their dog have bought a gun this year.
You know what else I seen?
Because they're like, oh,
This
we're
last
not,
year, I
we're
guess.
about to not be able to.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
what's going on.
I seen something that said Americans own 50% of the American citizens own 50% of the citizen-owned guns in the world.
Hoorah!
Yeah, that's over 400 million in America.
Total.
Yeah, it's not just this
Okay,
year.
so it is. So we do have over one gun per citizen.
Yeah,
It's
because
more
there's
than that.
330 million.
It's got to
in
be more
America.
than that. If
I
you
was
get
gonna say-
things like ghost guns and shiz, how many people have made those? How
Mm.
many illegal guns are in America? It's got to be so much
Yeah,
more
I
than
guess
that.
registered guns.
Yeah.
I want some ghost guns.
Ooh.
Ooh, yeah.
That's the only way I can get a gun.
It can go through walls. I would not suggest it.
No.
Yeah.
Why not?
Because it's illegal.
Then you could go to prison. Couldn't you?
Yeah, you can buy the kits.
Yeah, just
Yeah, that's legal, but once I put the trigger on it,
Just fashion one out
It's just
of
not
wood.
legal yet. 23, right?
Don't register.
soon.
Soon.
Soon enough.
Very soon. Very soon. Yeah.
Oh, the riots started up again, so that's good.
Did they?
Did they
where?
ever stop?
Yeah, kind of. Minneapolis.
Or did they
Minneapolis.
just
you
start
can't
getting
riot
covered
when
again?
it's negative 30 degrees out.
Oh,
Michigan.
yeah. It's pretty cold. It's pretty cold.
They
Fire doesn't
they
burn
took
in
a
the
snow
cold.
day.
Yeah, there's no way going out to smash for smash a. Oh my heck! Smash
You're just going out
a
to
window
smash, huh?
for a TV
Hulk smash.
at negative 30 degrees. Not happening.
Oh,
Yeah, your TV will just shatter if you drop it.
You wouldn't even want to go outside.
Mm-mm.
no, it's not even
Fingers
worth
are
it.
too cold.
It almost seems comical because it kind of paints it in this like these lazy people type of a thing, you know. Oh, we're gonna take a holiday from our domestic terrorism. It's too cold outside, guys. We'll come back tomorrow.
It does way calm
No,
down.
they're
when
they're
weather's
really
bad.
taking the initiative out there. They're just the opposite of lazy, you know, going out and smashing windows and stuff. That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Just destroying.
Not
Gotta
a
be
phone in
limber for
sight.
that. Yeah, running around all night. Gotta be limber. Chasing little kids and then getting shot.
Hey,
Hashtag Kyle.
Hitting someone with a skateboard.
he's still in jail.
Yeah, which is wild. I don't think he's really going to be charged for much except for
No.
illegal possession of a firearm, maybe.
His friend will be charged.
Not him. Yeah.
The one that gave him the gun.
Bought it for him, yeah. But let's just talk about why they started up again real quick.
Oh yes.
So, he was a 20-year-old. He had outstanding warrants for gun violence and then something else.
Was he black?
Of course he was.
Oh boy.
If he's white, it doesn't matter, silly.
That's why we heard about him.
Either way, he was trying to get back into the car so he could drive away, whatever. So they were all trying to pull him out, etc., etc. The lady cop pulls out her gun, thought it was her taser. God knows how the fuck you mix that up. She even says taser.
They both have handles.
Then
And
they
triggers.
they shoot her, or they shoot the kid, and then literally all the cops just fuck off the car. They're all, oh my God, you really just did that. And you could even hear one of them, oh shit, you just shot him. And then, so he speeds off, he crashes, he's dead. And
So he was alive after he got shot.
Yeah.
And sped away, and they.
yeah,
just
because they all
backed
just
up.
backed up. They're all,
Like, oh, we ain't touching
Because-
this kid.
well, it's
And then-
because they know exactly what the times are. Can
And
you
then-
imagine how
ri-
terrifying that would be?
well, on top of this, right down the street, there was
We're not becoming Chauvin today.
what the hell is it? Some black march going on. Anyways, I don't think it was the Black Panthers.
I
Black
don't
Lives
think they do
Matter.
marches.
Black Panthers is like black
it's-
That's
supremacy
That's like the
group, yeah.
KKK version for
yeah.
blacks. But either way, it was one of the black groups. So they all came over. And,
Violent activism.
yeah, they burned down. I think it was 20 businesses, and then once they were going for the big supermarket, Walmart, then
And the cops showed up.
yeah, whatever. So
Please,
now
you
they
need to eat
have
later
a
this
bunch of
week.
National Guard there and all this cool fun stuff.
It's so odd to me because these issues seem to.
Now, question is,
Oh, go ahead.
it's a female cop. What's gonna happen now?
Yeah.
Feminism versus
No, they won't.
anti-racism.
They won't
No,
back,
she's
they
white.
won't back their person.
She is white.
Doesn't matter that she's
Dude,
woman, they
even
won't back her.
if yeah, all the super like liberal people,
I
whatever.
think she's definitely
back-
going down for at least manslaughter. But
Yeah, the
That's a
state's
little
gonna tag the
ridiculous
hell out of her.
anyways.
Huh?
So that's a ridiculous mistake to make, anyways.
Yeah, that's stupid.
it is.
Tasers feel way different than guns. Like,
I got it.
Yeah, I
Taser.
imagine one would be quite shocking, and the other one would hurt a lot.
Insane, dude.
I think her.
But you're talking the handle.
yeah, that handle.
Well, one's yellow, right?
Well, you
Yeah.
pull it out.
Tasers are yellow.
But you're not looking at it when you're pulling it out.
Yeah,
you
but,
just.
but they don't even
but
have the same
if it's
trigger.
in front of
No.
your face.
They
No,
don't fire
she
that?
she wasn't just like
She didn't
aim
just-
shoot. It was she was holding it. I'm not even kidding you. You're like,
taser.
lady, what the
This is a
fuck?
taser.
Because yeah, she has all of her cop friends around her trying to. Like,
I mean,
Jesus,
yes,
lady.
in jest, it's like.
Well,
it's
to
like,
be fair,
wow,
the
but-
shock factor was immense.
oh yeah,
Millions of volts
everybody was
right out
fucking
the bat.
shocked, amazed.
Shocked a
I
hole
mean,
right in your chest.
it's.
He was surprised, I'm sure.
Was that hot? Did it burn you?
I mean, it makes sense in jest. Like, how could you do that? But also, I don't know. Not to play, onto her side. I mean, obviously it was a huge mistake, but I can imagine in an adrenaline fueled environment like that where
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, heat of
it
the
wouldn't.
moment.
It wouldn't.
It's
It
bright
honestly
fucking
wouldn't be
yellow.
that hard.
But
I
still,
mean,
I don't.
It's
I mean,
it's
I think-
terrible.
Hey, but
I
all
don't
you
care
see
about
is
the-
red, dog.
But it's like you're a
If you're getting
cop.
beat
You
on.
should be used to these situations.
Yeah.
The whole I was just adrenaline. That's a bullshit excuse if you're a cop.
Well, I know, but
You should be used to that, and you should know
Not if
how
you're
to.
not trained for it.
Yeah,
Then
the
don't
thi-
be a cop
The
if you're
thing
not
is,
trained
they
for
need to
it.
train them more.
They don't get
What
trained
I
enough.
what I
That's the
heard.
issue.
You
But
have
also
more
Navy
training to
SEAL,
go
he
through
was
hair
saying-
school than to be a cop.
Yep,
That's crazy.
that's true.
That is
That is
crazy.
insane.
The people at Sports Clips gotta go through 6 months of hair school.
That is.
Also,
that
get
is
rid of the fat
ludicrous.
cops. You got to be
Just has
fit
fitness,
mentally and physically to be a cop. If not, get out of here.
I heard a Navy SEAL say we need a fifth of their time towards training, dedicated
Yeah.
to training.
I'd agree.
And
Jiu-jitsu,
I
all
said
of it.
Yes.
You need a lot of training if you're gonna have a gun
Yeah.
and pulling people over and shit. It's like, okay, yeah. Be
Like,
good at your job.
Here's another thing too, though, just to think logistically about it. Like, say you're a mechanic or something. I mean, you mess up. There's going to be clerical errors in any field ever. It's just going to happen. So, the matter of fact is, someone's going to become a statistic at some point.
It's just like the doctor that gave you internal bleeding.
yeah, that was definitely fun.
My bad. What if he would have killed you?
Yeah.
Whoops.
Well, yeah, he definitely.
How the
he
fuck do you mix up a taser and a gun?
See, that's what I'm
Dude,
saying.
doctors kill a lot of people.
I know they do. It's
but
insane.
the fact is that we need them. So some people have to become statistics.
Yeah, but that's
Just
what
I
I'm
agree,
saying.
and this is
Essentially,
not a bash on
this is
cops,
bottom-
but
yeah.
The more training we have, the less it's going to
I
be.
know, but this is what I'm saying. Just essentially is it's a bottom of the barrel question. It's an essential truism. There is going to be a statistic eventually. In every field, mistakes can be made and will be made. To what degree and margin is that acceptable? Who's to say? Because it's really perspective by perspective. And honestly, the first answer that comes to mind is there's no margin that's acceptable in the police field because if there is, then someone dies. Okay, but also that is literally impossible.
0 is the only acceptable goal.
Yeah,
Buckle up.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, it's a good goal, but I mean, it doesn't mean you're
but it's not. But it's not realistic, is the thing. So yeah. In things like that, it's kind of sucks because like
It's like your food where they got to have a certain amount of bugs per pound of wheat or whatever.
What?
it's
That's
not-
acceptable
yeah, it's
in
the
your
same,
food.
Yeah, same with like
Oh
chocolate
yeah,
bars
there's a
and
certain
things.
amount of parasites, everything that's acceptable in your food.
Can't
You're
be
welcome.
no. That's gross.
Just
So-
not gonna eat food anymore. Thanks, though.
Yeah, it sucks because just like even in everything like that, but also with this lady, man. I mean,
No,
just to take
woman.
Okay,
Wimixin, please.
woman, with this woman.
X chromosome. Thanks.
Amen and a woman.
That's so stupid, dude. I can't even believe that was a thing.
You stole my brain cells. They're gone.
Oh dear Lord.
Either way, this happened last night, so we don't know all the details. But from the video, it looks pretty fucking aggressive.
Yeah.
Looks bad.
like-
Kind of like the George Floyd looked bad. We'll see what
It
comes
did,
out.
yeah.
George.
Yeah,
Floyd,
I hope he gets off scot-free, Derek Chauvin. He deserves it.
he should at this point. Seen
Oh,
all
yeah.
like the drug things that we're saying. It's like,
And they're
yikes.
like, oh yeah, he was on his shoulder and back, not his neck the whole
Yeah.
time. And a lethal dose. He was like 3 times over the lethal dose.
Yeah.
Everything's just like
Let's hear what the
He swallowed an 8-ball or something like that as well, supposedly.
speedball?
speedball.
Speedball, yeah.
What is this? A ball of speed? What a
Yeah.
speedball?
It's,
Yeah,
it's
speed.
just like a
It's
mixture
meth
of
and
drugs.
fentanyl.
But do you guys see that
Speedy.
doctor that was saying, if the defense asked her, yo, if you found him just on his couch, what would you have called this? And
Oh,
she's
yeah.
like, oh, an overdose. And they were like, she said, yeah, but I seen the video, so I know it's not how he died.
One of them, one of
That's
the
exactly
doctors
what- yeah.
said that, yeah, they could literally watch the video and tell by his breathing pattern that he died to asphyxiation or whatever.
But
Oh,
they said if we
okay.
found him by
'Cause he
himself,
OD'd.
that's OD.
You're the best scientist I could
I've
ever.
seen the video, so it's murder. It's like, oh
It's
my
so
gosh.
stupid, dude.
Well, the thing is, it's kind of interesting because we end up assigning people validity in their opinions based on their occupations. Do you know what I mean? Which you can't really work from a model that doesn't go from that. But also, you have to realize that if someone is accelerant and qualified in one degree, it does not mean in any view of imagination that they are competent in another case. Do you know what I mean? So you could have someone who say could be a very good mortician or something, and then when emotions come into or the political sphere, that could easily override it. It ends up being, I think the individual aspect of all of these things ends up being a lot more interesting than the social and what would you say, the professional and larger scope of it. Because it's the same thing with this lady. It's like it sucks because she's the statistic, and thinking about it from an individual perspective, man, that's shitty. The other day I dropped something at work. Oh, that's a mistake that I made. I have to
no,
pay
it
for that.
broke.
Yeah, oh no, I made a mistake.
Oh no, it's dead.
I
Yeah.
kill someone.
Yeah,
It's kind of a big mistake.
Yeah, it's a big mistake, but that's part of the field essentially is what I'm saying. And I'm not saying that it's acceptable, but you have to honest to God, the statistic is going to show up at some point somewhere. It's a weird question to ask, but what is the I don't know. It's definitely
Look, Jake,
it's definitely an odd question. to ask.
I'm pro police 100%, but that's like me, like going to punch someone and I magically just appear with brass knuckles and fucking break your skull. I'm all, oh my god, I meant to punch you.
Except you're not. No, look, I understand what you're saying, but you're not getting my analogy. It's Okay.
No, I am. It's bound to fucking happen.
It's
Yes.
definitely. I'm hitting someone with fucking boxing
But-
gloves, and all of a sudden it's brass knuckles.
Yeah,
oh
yo.
shit! I got him.
That
I
is a
tagged him, he's
very
dead.
Big mistake.
It's
Like,
a big mistake, but
And
it
I'm
is.
pretty sure they're on different sides. So you're all, gun. Take this.
I mean, and it's
Taser, taser.
Yeah.
9mm.
but it is a different. It's obviously a different story
It's like rock,
if
paper,
she did
scissors.
it if she did it knowingly and willingly. You know what I mean? That's
This
obviously
might
murder.
kill you. We
It's-
don't know yet.
Taser, handcuff, 9mm. Got him.
You just gotta go watch the video, then
Best to
tell me
understand.
after.
Look, I'm not saying. I'm just saying in the conceptual realm. That's what it ends up looking like to me. Is it's shitty, and I'm not saying that she, like, obviously there's got to be some repercussion, but to what degree is everyone's gonna be a statistic at some point in everything. So
I'd say
not-
don't charge her
really
with
sucks.
fucking first-degree murder or whatever. Maybe like manslaughter, but
Unintentional manslaughter.
still, bless her heart. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, you can see what I'm saying
Second
though.
or
You
third
look at
degree.
it from you change
No.
perspectives for a second. Fuck. Can you imagine?
Being her,
Yes.
you're just like, oh, your heart just dies.
Yeah, she
Oh,
shitted her pants for
It's
sure.
not gonna be the same ever again.
What she's not gonna have a
Because
life.
she knows she killed a man.
No, well,
now.
Well, see,
Well,
but that,
plus
that,
all the
that's-
cops
that's
around her
issue-
also fired.
That's
I
issue
guarantee
number
it.
one.
Yeah,
what
that's
you're
issue-
saying.
yeah, that's
number
issue-
two is you're gonna get criticized
Or
and
not
just-
even that. You're going.
Crucified.
Yes, you're going to be crucified politically and possibly
And were
literally.
it not on video, you might have been okay.
Yeah.
Serious. The invention of
Body cams.
body cams and smartphone cameras, all this jazz, very smart, and it's definitely straightened up the cops a lot, but it's starting to go to where it's too much.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
In
know
my
if it's a
opinion.
it's definitely
It's
weird
swinging
questions to ask.
the other way because there were so many years where cops could abuse their power and all this jazz, and now it's swinging the other way so hard.
Well, yeah. You get
Yeah.
you
We're
get
still trying to find the balance,
It's like the chaos and order. They had too much chaos, and now there's too much order.
trying to find the acceptable statistics.
yes. That's a yes. Oh, it makes you think too. It's like at what point it always comes back to the individual in my mind because everything's coming from group identity and things like that, and where's the blame lie? But when you end up going into things like that, it ends up being like you're splitting hairs. It's perspective, because someone can watch a body cam video and be like, that this guy was doing this, and you start attributing things to them that weren't explicitly obvious. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just it's a crazy world. Yeah. Don't want to become a statistic. That's for sure.
Pretty much.
You're white, bro, you're
Sucky
good.
To be her.
Yeah. Well, it's
Yeah,
and
you
it's
have white privilege, don't you know?
Yeah, you don't even have to. You
And
can run from the
original
cops.
sin. It's an interesting question. It's. I mean, you've had the Christian ethic has been questioning that for a long time. Original sin. Where did it? Yeah, it's an interesting thing.
Your whiteness is your original
Yeah,
sin. 'Kay?
it's just changed. Yeah, people are just reskinning. Forgive the word slip, but reskinning an old idea, which is original sin. It's just in a different conceptual frame at this point.
Teravangian and Way of Kings has a way of putting this. They say something like, if there was four people and they killed, or 3 people teamed up to kill one person, and there was a fourth that was kind of like they worked at the same job, and he says, would you hang all 4 of them for the chance of catching 3 bad guys, or would you save them all for the sake of saving the one guy? And I don't know. It's a cool part in the book, but Teravangian says I'd hang all 4 and weep every night for having done it. That's cool.
See, yeah, and that ends up. That's an interesting.
And here we are doing the very same.
Yeah, it's a very interesting conceptual
With the
game
police.
because it ends up in my mind being, are you an optimist or are you a pessimist? Is really what it ends up being, because it kind of goes to the same thing like with judges and things. They say the conviction rate of criminals in a court is a lot less after the judge eats lunch. Like, yeah, that sucks, huh? Because the
Depends
thing
on
is,
their mood.
it's the individual, man. It's so everything pins on that.
Yeah.
No one is an island. No one has. People are not capable of logical thought purely.
Human.
Human error and human emotion is bound to play a role because you are human. You cannot excavate that from a person.
Mm-hmm.
How about robotic cops?
Yeah, I was gonna say, would you ever have a robotic cop or a judge?
But see,
I'd say
no, I wouldn't.
flip
I
no.
would say, see,
Fuck that.
I would say no on that as well. But you see, I'm not out here offering any solutions just because I'm playing devil's advocate today. But it's like you're always gonna have all these issues. And I'm not saying that it justifies any of them. All of this shit is terrible. But when people go pointing like there's some conspiracy behind this, all it's original sin. It's the white hate and all these different things. It's like, yeah, I don't know. If you look at these things on an individual level, I guess the collective malice pretty much disappears. Mm-hmm. And Jordan Peterson's been talking about this for a long time. The solution to collectivism is the individual.
Because the individual is the lowest common denominator.
Yep.
It's the smallest minority or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. They don't believe that.
So, question would be, what do we do about these we'll say these woke individuals who decide to identify a certain way or do this and that and whatever? Obviously, it's a case-by-case basis. And then I guess the only problem comes is when they all band together and they're like, we want this. And
That's not
and
necessarily.
it can be bad.
Well,
It's got to be conversation. It's about the only way to get them out of there without being violent or right. You can't just change someone's whole life like that without talking about things or violence. But even then, you just ingrain more. You solidify their views.
Yeah. Well, see, the only negative aspect of that in my mind would be when. So I'm all for individual rights. You know what I mean? It's like you can activism is not a bad thing. Any sort of violence or anything when someone else's rights are infringed, then it becomes an issue. Within reasonable boundary too, not Bill C-16 type of infringement.
Oh boy.
Not your words hurt me. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's like when
So you can be arrested and fined. Jeez.
Within reasonable boundaries, you know what I mean? No one's getting physically violent or keeping anyone from their constitutional rights.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ugh.
Should we move on to
Crazy time.
a
Too
more
heavy.
yes, a more uplifting topic, might I say?
Yes. What have you been doing in your life recently that has uplifted you?
Well,
You're single.
oh, mic drop. Yes, I am that. I would say that's uplifted me to some degree. I mean, it's had its ups and downs as anything has. You know what I mean? But definitely feel. I guess singularity leaves or takes a weight off just because you only have to worry about yourself. You know what I mean? Which I think it's better bringing it back to self generally.
Been putting your deodorant on and brushing your teeth and stuff. Always good.
Yes, that's always good.
Are you making your bed in the morning?
In the afternoon.
Combing your
yeah.
lion's mane.
Yes, things like that. I don't know.
Coming to the gym.
No,
Oh, he's a sad boy now. Dadgummit.
no.
Are you still paying for it?
Yeah,
Golly.
We called it.
I know.
Is there a plan to go back?
Oh,
So why do you still pay for it?
Cancel
Yes.
it. Pull out your phone and cancel it.
Cancel it right now. It's
Right
good
now.
for you.
Be
I
the
just canceled
shame,
Disney
baby.
Plus
see,
today.
I
Didn't even know I had it.
want
Give
to do,
in.
I want to do physical things, but at the gym, just pounding weights, it so
fun.
doesn't fulfill my soul. Like if I was like, oh, we're gonna go on a hike today, and we're gonna go do shit in the woods.
You gotta do it for a
that's
month, and then it starts fulfilling you.
Ooh.
How do you get
That
fucking
first-
huge?
That first month was rough.
I'd imagine.
Now, if I don't go one day, it feels weird.
It's a habit for sure.
Yeah.
I could definitely see if you're not way into it though. Like a lot of people I talk to just say they're happy where they're at, and they're not fat or anything. So it's like they don't need to work out, and they just don't really want. They don't care to be ripped or like tone or whatever.
I would,
so it's like,
I would
alright.
like to be
Oh,
toned.
I
I'd like
hated
to be
it at
more
first
fit.
too.
And essentially,
It wasn't
yeah.
super enjoyable at first.
No, and now you're like, oh,
It definitely was
I
fine
didn't do that
with
today?
where I was before, but once you started, now I'm like, can't believe I wasn't doing this before.
yeah, exactly.
The
Yeah.
main reason that I would go back and do more physical exercise on a regular basis is the mental clarity more than anything. It allowed at least when I was doing it or whenever I have had spells of doing it, because I've never been consistent. it's mental clarity and what would you say, emotional regulation is a lot more healthy, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely gives you clarity. And waking up early like that, I got a lot done
Certainly
this
feel
morning.
a lot better.
Yeah. Although when the weekends come, you do sleep a lot.
Yes, you're
That's
dead.
true.
Yeah. Just passed away, but during the week, it's great.
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
You're throwing some questions. I'm gonna throw one back at you.
Oh,
What
boy.
what do you think of the idea of the war on consciousness? I don't, would you need an explanation as to what that is?
Yeah, explain.
It's generally the
Explain your truth of the war on consciousness.
but well, I didn't coin the phrase. What's his name? I'll think of it. Someone else coined the phrase. Very interesting man. Anyway, so it's essentially when the war on drugs started. In essence was a war on consciousness in the sense that it's within your individual liberty to do these things, but someone else is dictating whether or not you can have an experience. Do you know what I mean? When you're not infringing on any other rights. So I guess I was curious as to because in my mind I think the complete legalization of all drugs should, well, yes, yeah, I'm gonna stick on the radical end of things, is a desirable thing in many cases. I was just curious to what degree you think that holds water, or if you are in contrary belief to that.
While you think about this, cartels started selling avocados because weed and all the other drugs are starting to become legalized everywhere.
Yes.
I'm
They
serious.
started selling avocados.
Yeah,
Now,
as
now they go to
replacement.
farmers and say, "We're your distributor now,"
Yep.
and they gain lots of money.
Here, have some avocados.
I want to say
pretty
I
cool,
could
actually.
make more money doing it too.
Probably.
Yeah.
Produce, fresh
and
produce.
they don't lose as much on
People
Getting it
getting
taken
killed.
away.
run-ins with
or
cops
anything.
and things like that. I'm sure it's very lucrative.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
Jacob, is your
Yes.
question, do you think all drugs should be legal? Was that kind of the
sorry.
kinda
It
what
was
I
kind of
understood.
it was kind of
It was
a
like
it was
a
kind of
long
a, it was
question.
kind, yeah, it was kind of a mixed question. I guess just what it was a twofer. So what is your opinion on the war on consciousness, and do you think all drugs should be legalized, or some drugs should be, which drugs should be legalized for what reasons?
Every
Yeah.
drug should be legalized. It's your choice to put that in your body.
When you asked about the war on consciousness, you kind of explained it by using the war on drugs. So what do you mean by the war on consciousness? Or is that essentially what you meant was,
Yeah.
should all drugs be legalized? That is a war.
That's what I meant. The war on consciousness is I guess the governments dictate to not allow someone to do what they will with their own consciousness.
To
as
have
long
an
as
experience.
Yeah, and I think that extends into suicide as well. But that's just my personal opinion, because it is illegal to kill yourself. I don't know. Yeah.
Is it?
It
Pretty-
is.
Try and stop me.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do.
They'll
Handcuff
throw you
his
right in
body.
jail.
I don't know.
Yeah, death penalty right now.
Yeah, it's odd, but
Um,
I know that was kind of heaps of things.
so drugs being legal, yes. Drugs being regulated, yes.
Yes, also
So,
agree. Also agree.
I really don't like the government's hands in anything, and I don't think they should have any say in what you do with your body. But there are many drugs, especially the harder ones, that are known to be especially addictive and known to be especially harmful, not only to the person, but also those around them, which is where the gray area is going to be.
But, yeah.
So if you add maybe a special facility where you can lock this person in a room and say, hey, go have a fun trip, that's great.
To what degree? I guess.
Like,
yeah. To what degree of regulation?
Make a corporation out of it. Capitalist. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go down to the heroin Jerry's and
Heroin Jerry's.
they've got little cells you can go into and just have your own trip.
Well,
or
well,
you and a friend,
You'd
whatever.
have to sign a waiver.
Oh, hell yeah.
Well,
It'd be like
that-
going to the trampoline park.
That and the only
You want
thing
to get
is
on fentanyl? Go ahead. This is how much you can take maximum so you don't
Have you
die.
seen how much is a lethal dose?
It's very small.
It's
amount.
like 2 grains of sand.
Of fentanyl.
If they
Yeah.
accidentally sniff it, it'll knock them out.
Yeah, if they
So-
don't wear full body gear when they're handling it like drug people, they'll pass out.
Yeah. So they were talking about a story where had someone was handling something with fentanyl in it and just got
Marijuana laced with it.
Yeah, and got a whiff of it, smelled it, and passed him out, almost killed him. As they were handling it, processing it, whatever.
It's brutal stuff.
Wow.
A lot of people
that's
die
potent.
because they put it in like Coke, and they think it's Coke, and they snort it.
So
That'll
why?
kill you so
'Cause it
fast?
can
Yeah,
make
that
it-
much? You just,
No.
It makes
they-
it way
they
more
mix it.
potent.
Oh, is that?
So it's
is
not like
that
a
what-
ton of
That's
it.
still
It makes it feel
that's
like you
a
got way high quality
It's still
shit with
crazy.
just a
Ba-
touch of fentanyl.
Okay,
in
I
it.
see.
Basically, it's uppers and downers is kind of the thought behind it, because cocaine and fentanyl, and just like meth and fentanyl, the speedball.
Yeah, those are all uppers.
Yeah, essentially.
Fentanyl's a downer, right?
I'm not sure about that one.
I thought, from what I understood, it depresses your breathing and everything. So I imagine it's a downer.
That's the lethal
Okay.
dose of fentanyl.
Show me. I didn't see the picture of it. Yeah, you don't want to smell it.
No.
Yeah. see?
No.
That's George Floyd had that in him.
Yeah.
Plus some.
Yes, and like meth. And all
It's
sorts of other
stronger than the horse tranquilizer. That's
Yeah.
what they said, which is probably a lot if it's a
Yeah,
horse.
so, anyways, yes, I do believe it should be legalized and very,
I
very
believe.
regulated,
I believe
not
in
very
regulation.
taxed.
Yeah, I believe in the regulation as well. But I
That's
think
what pisses me off.
But that's part of why I think it should be legalized essentially as well. I think, well, foremost it's likely my spurring for freedom in everything, because I think you should be able to do whatever you want as long as it's not impacting someone else negatively in a constitutional way, I guess, you know what I mean? So I think one of the reasons, or at least a couple of the reasons, is
Do I dare ask abortion?
Ooh. Yeah, this would be a
That
very
one's
this would,
such a
so
tricky
this
one.
would this would be a very
You're
long
harming a person.
conversation. That would be a long conversation. I'd like to at least wrap up.
You
Yeah,
are
go ahead.
harming
Go
a
ahead and
person.
wrap up. Go ahead and wrap up real quick.
Oh no, we're gonna dive into this. All right.
We're diving, but hold on. Wrap this up.
Yeah, I think it'd be good for all legalization, just because you've in places that it has happened, you've had a dropping rate in almost every STD because there's clean needles on hand.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no need for sharing needles and transitional things like that. Overdoses go down. It destigmatizes the use of drugs in
That's
recreational and
true.
other ways. So it makes it easier for people to get help. A bunch of different things like this.
That way, when people do drugs, they don't get ostracized from their families.
Yeah, and there's a lot of different things like that where I think it would be useful. But if we're being honest, my essential, or where the motivation comes for me to be on the side of legalization of everything is freedom, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
If any power structure's forcing things on me, I get real weird real quick.
Fair enough. So yes, I do believe in yes legalization, yes regulation, no on taxation, because what they do is they'll legalize things, tax the hell out of it,
Mhm.
and so it's not used.
Yeah.
Or they want to get rid of things. They want to regulate guns. Oh, let's just raise the taxes by this much.
Yeah.
Let's add these extra fees. Oh, they can still buy them. They're perfectly free to do that. No, fuck that.
Yeah.
Stupid.
If they're millionaires.
Yeah. Alcohol, weed, any of it, highly, highly taxed.
Yeah.
It's insanity.
Makes it like, okay, I'm just going to go to my dealer anyway because it's too
Yeah,
expensive to buy it
Yeah.
from the
Yeah,
government.
he's cheaper. Or she. Dealers can be gender neutral.
There's a lot of female
Yeah.
sellers. More than
I believe
well,
it. They
not more,
probably
but-
get better prices.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, you can't.
They
You're
also
not having
screw
many
you
people
over a
trying
lot.
to. Yeah. Interesting.
But
All right, Jacob.
Okay, here we go.
next.
Abortion.
I'm gonna say I am not looking forward to this because I do not have stable footing in this. Do you just want me to start and just fucking dig myself a hole,
No,
or
so
are you
what-
gonna
what
give me
you
a
said-
platform to stand on?
I'll give you something to stand on. You said you believe in the rights of the individual and anything that goes towards rights and freedoms for the individual as long as it's not harming another's constitutional rights.
Yes,
So, abortion.
is harming someone else's constitutional rights.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. Very, very correct. Now, how do you feel about it, and what should be done about it? What about because
Solutions to it?
most of the shit that comes up with abortion, most of the controversy is fringe cases. Oh no, it's a rape baby. Oh no, it's the mom's gonna die. It's fringe cases.
Well, do we want to talk fringe cases or because
let's talk both.
Because I think generally the reason fringe cases are even brought up is to justify the majority.
Is because laws are supposed to apply to everything.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Is it has to apply to everything.
Yeah.
It can't just apply to most of it. It's gotta go across the board. So it's either legal or it's not, and it's gonna be hard.
Yeah, I guess I would just kind of err on the side of old Shapiro's kind of idea where he says he's like, all right, if I agree that all of the fringe cases should be legalized, will you agree that all of the the majority
abortions
cases be illegal?
Yeah.
And unwaveringly the answer is no. So I don't know. For me, I think I don't know. And when it gets down to splitting hairs like that, and it's like, it's one or the other. Which life is worth more? I am not the supreme moral, what would you say, executioner and judge, but the issue is who is. Do you know what I mean?
The individual in their own life.
And
therefore, abortion should be legal, but morally frowned upon.
No,
Yes.
you're harming their individual rights, dude.
You are. But I still think it should be legal. I don't think the government should have a shit to say about it.
In fringe cases or in
all cases,
in generally.
I'm telling you, it should be technically legal, and morally and religiously very, very frowned upon and taught against.
I'm gonna say
because the government shouldn't have a say in an individual case, such as that. That is a very, very personal. Any person that I've known that has gone through that, it is very emotional.
Well, I'd imagine
it's not a light decision.
No, and for no one, I wouldn't imagine in any world that it would be for anyone.
No.
The only issue is. See, I agree with you on many aspects of that. I don't want the government to have any more power than they do.
No.
And I do not think that they should be meddling in the affairs of the general public, and when things are not necessary for their involvement, which is almost always. But the issue does arise. It gets weird because there's a tangling of ideological and moral quandaries with what the general consensus of acceptability is and law. Do you know what I mean? So it's a jumble, and I'm not too foundationally glued to either, but if I were leaning to one side, it would be heavily on the I think if anything, only fringe cases.
Look, all I'm saying is
I
more
think,
and more
yeah.
people are looking towards the government and the law as the basis of morality instead of the individual as the basis of morality.
Well, see, that's why I'm
which
torn.
is exactly where it's found.
Yeah, see, that's where I'm torn, and that's why it's not that I'm coming from a more logical or coherent place. Your definition and what you said is what would you say? Closer to a logical stance than likely mine is. However, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to not have emotions entangled in it, because I wouldn't say that you're evil if you've done it. I
haven't. I'm a man.
Huh? Oh.
We got to lighten the mood a little bit.
Okay, that's acceptable. What was I saying? Oh yes.
But we're going to hear from everybody.
I wouldn't say that it. Man, it's a weird Twilight Zone type of a deal.
Are you pro or against it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know that you like things cut and dry like that, but I'm not going to give you that answer. I would say that there's a very mixed and jumbled set of emotions, thoughts, and logicalities in my mind.
What I understand, what you're saying is basically you want it not legal except fringe cases.
Fuck, I don't want. But
that's
see,
closer.
But see, the issue is I agree with you. I don't want the government in it at all. See, that's what I'm saying. I haven't spent enough time and solidified my thoughts on it enough to know anything outside of goo. I don't like that.
Oh, we'll bring it up next
not
time.
not that anyone enjoys it, but
We'll
know
bring
what I
it back up for you.
It's next
time.
It's like Jordan Peterson. I think he's like, the issue with abortion is it's obviously not good. You wouldn't suggest someone that you like have one. Yeah, I don't know. It's a sticky situation. I will pass the baton to my brother Logan, who I'm
Pro.
pretty sure I know that. Yeah,
You're
I
pro
figured.
abortion?
Pro. Fuck it.
They would.
Fuck it. Fuck them kids. Screw it.
Man. Well, can you give me a little bit more circumspect reasoning?
On a real note,
Yeah. Oh, I just reasoning.
I'd say yes, because if there is, this is gonna tie in religion into it.
Yeah. Like I said,
If there is
tangled
a
with it.
higher fucking creator that everyone believes in, then it's between you and him or her, whatever, to, like, once you get up there to decide, if it was morally right or wrong or whatever. So who are you to judge? Granted, I do agree, it is taking a life, and it's terrible. I wouldn't want it for myself, but who the fuck am I to say, no, you can't do that. That's just not right. So I'd say
Can I play devil's advocate for
do
a
it.
sec too?
Do it.
You can
We'll
make
jump
that-
down this rabbit
Yeah,
hole.
you could make the same. You're in your logicality, not saying mine is stable at all because you just witnessed that it's not. But you could say the same thing for just normal murder. Yeah, that's between you and God, man.
That's what I'm saying. It is. Who the fuck am I to say you can or can't do that?
Yeah, no,
That's
I,
not
no,
okay.
I totally
Yeah,
agree
but
with you, but I'm saying that same logicality.
What if you're torturing people in the desert?
Just because I disagree with it doesn't mean I'm.
Yeah, but you're gonna go kill that person.
All right, look,
that person's going to jail. Or dead.
in cases such as that, as one might say, it might be God's place to judge a man, but it is my place to send him there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would say this though, Noah.
That has nothing to do with law.
Well, no, I would say this though. You have people. I've heard people say that exact same thing about people who have had abortions. Yes. So
And look,
it's not their kid.
Oh, okay.
Look,
but they're saying
it's terrible,
in the
and
case in which it would be
no,
there.
Jacob, shut the fuck up. I'm talking.
My apologies.
Silly.
Go ahead.
Great. You made me lose my train of thought. Oh, yeah, it's gonna affect a man and woman, so drastically. It's gonna change their whole fucking life, right?
Yeah, I'm aware.
So then at that point, they're not gonna do any more,
What
or
do
they
you
might
mean?
any more abortions. Because talk to anyone that has had them, and they're like, "Ooh, yeah, I just wouldn't even do that again. I'm pretty fucked up, right?"
The people that I have talked about, haven't had that. Well, I haven't talked to many people, but the people that I have, that the sentiment hasn't been like I totally enjoyed it, but you know
It was
what I
fun.
mean?
I'll enjoy next week.
But it wasn't like I would never do it again.
And if we did make them illegal, all these people are still going to get them. Then we're going to have more deaths overall.
See, that's
It's
why.
going to be like the war on drugs.
Yeah, no, and I'm aware.
You
That's
can't
why-
just run from it and
that's
hide
why I
it.
didn't-
People are still going to do it.
No. I'm aware. That's why I didn't. That's why I didn't make any olive branch of regulatory or.
I didn't hear any
reasonable.
stance from you, sir.
You heard stances. I just did
You were
not.
tiptoeing in the sand, and then your footsteps disappeared.
Well, that
Get wrecked.
happens to the best of us.
I understand. Next time. That's a good one. Jesse,
But
you, sir,
is it
have
good?
a strong opinion
I
about this.
do.
Okay.
This is a hill I'm willing to die on.
All right.
It's murder.
You know who else is going to die on this hill?
Oh no!
All the babies.
Yes.
All right.
If you consider a baby to have the constitutional rights, then it becomes murder. The second that you consider it to have constitutional rights, it becomes murder, and it becomes purview of the government. As much as I don't like the government being handled in this shit, it's at that point it's murder, and you've taken another life and you've infringed on someone else's rights. You've violated the supreme law of the land.
This is technically and
Yes.
legally true
This
under the
is-
Constitution
and
right
I would
now.
even say possibly logically as well. See, the thing is, I don't.
Listen, if you can go to jail for killing a plant, you should go to jail for fucking killing a baby. I don't have any other.
Not only certainly.
plant?
But also,
Yeah.
if you can go to jail for killing a plant, that's retarded.
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah.
Endangered species and
Yeah.
stuff?
Look, Jess, I agree. It is murder. I also agree that you do it. I don't want it for myself, and if my girlfriend or wife ever gets one, I'd probably disown them. But also, it's not my fucking choice. Go. What are you gonna
Neither
do?
is someone else murdering someone else.
Take
It's not
this.
your fucking choice.
Take this, Jesse.
Fucking, it's still
if
legal.
your wife
It's still
no,
bad.
if your wife goes and gets an abortion, what are you gonna do to stop her?
Fucking leave her and never look at her again. I promise to God
It's
I would.
it's still your baby though.
Ugh.
That person just killed.
Yeah, that's why I'd never look at him again.
Yeah. Oh. See? Yeah, it's interesting. See, because I think.
Abortion is confusing.
Well, definitely. I think that's why there's still that. And see, the thing.
Too much.
I love having conversations about this type of stuff with people that are level-headed. Not that people generally aren't level-headed,
Incest.
but yeah, it's dope. Anyway, emotion.
What?
Did I just hear that correctly?
Yeah,
I
only
this
because
conversation.
the reason
I said incest.
the reason that I said that is because you fucking cut me off and I just felt violent. No, that's not my circumspect view on that.
It sounded like it.
It sounded like me being violent. Anyway,
it's on video.
it's interesting, and I like having these type of conversations because for me, I can to some degree emotionally detach myself because I'm not very tied down to either side of it,
I can tell.
and it's fun to just kind of dive into it because I don't know on things generally when you get into topics where I don't know they're very emotionally hot and fueled, people just tend to I don't know close off mentally and then go on the attack, which. It's not that it's an unreasonable thing if you when all those emotions are tied to it. It's just I like to be able to have interplaying conversation with it, and
Yeah.
it's interesting, fun, and fucking confusing.
There is a lot of emotions swirling here tonight, guys.
I enjoy
It's
it.
fun.
Oh, I'm so horny.
So, Jesse,
Zave.
I did want to ask you, fringe cases, same thing.
Yes.
All
It may
right.
be shitty, but deal with it.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
How about adoption?
All right.
Adoption?
is a valid option.
That is.
So
I
many
agree.
other things. You do not have to kill the child.
But what about all the kids that are kicked out right at 18?
It's shitty.
Get
but
fucked.
you're alive.
What do you do?
It's shitty, but they're alive.
I'm gonna have to agree with Jess on this one.
Yes.
You're not
Not
going straight out.
completely.
Yes, you're
Not
100%
completely.
against.
We'll hear
No,
you
no,
in
no,
a
no.
second.
Yeah,
We'll
I'll
hear
talk
your
later.
official.
Anyways.
But the whole thing of it's shitty, deal with it. Yeah, I'm with that.
So adoption. Adoption is
Valid
your
Solution.
solution for fringe cases,
Okay,
essentially.
between wife and baby. One of them lives, one of them dies.
Oh yeah, that was the last case.
Because that's a
baby.
fucking aggressive one.
It's aggressive. but
Kill the
it's
baby?
No.
Oh,
The
keep the
baby
baby.
It's shitty, but the baby's got a life to live.
But how about
You're
this?
saying
Your
the
wife can make more babies.
Yeah, that's not the point. The point is you're murdering someone at that point. You're murdering someone and you're depriving your child of their life. Now your wife, she knows what you know what you're getting into. It might be shitty, but you know there's that possibility.
So even if you talked before and said, "Okay, if this comes down to it, then she wants to live," would you ever decide that? Do you think,
I wouldn't want to decide it. No, not at all. But
or would you tell her, "No, I want you to die rather than the baby"?
no.
Just
No,
leave the
that's-
room. Fuck it.
It's your decision, wife.
I don't know. That's something I don't
That-
think you should plan for.
Yeah, that
That's a-
specifically for you might be a case by case, just that one case.
Maybe, but I
Maybe.
still think it would be.
Here's a
Technically,
question.
the
At
child
that
has
point,
more
it's
life
not-
in front of it,
I think
That's why I would choose.
but the wife
child,
may have
but
more kids in
also,
front of her.
You can't. That's
But it was the
I
wife's
can't
decision to
choose.
get
I think
married
that's an
or to have a
underpinning. I
kid.
think that's an underpinning of the conversation as well that people don't talk about. It's really what you're if you're going into fringe cases like that. What you're really questioning is the potential of life. Like is the potential life that the child could lead or having more years possibly, is that more valuable than the what I guess does the span of a life warrant its validity? Do you know what I mean? Because then you're questioning how would you value one life over another, which isn't definitely an interesting and intricate topic that you can't. I don't know. It's kind of hard to bite off because you could say maybe 2 years of Gandhi's life was more important than 1,000 of two different people. A couple different people's lives. It's you kind of end up
possible.
questioning what is the warrant or the substance and what is I guess, what is the value of life to life?
Yeah, I just wanted to get to the core of Jesse's philosophy here, like
In that case, I don't
because
I don't know.
It's a freaking hard decision.
It's not something that I would feel comfortable making a decision about, but also
It would definitely be both of you, you'd think,
yeah, you'd want, but
because you'd know something might happen.
yeah, and maybe that's something that you have beforehand. So if you have complications, let's just try and power through it. We don't know if you're gonna die,
Yeah,
but let's just power through it, as opposed to being like, you die or the baby dies. It's kind of, I don't know.
yeah, but I mean, each one of us will have to have that conversation when we have a wife before she goes into labor and stuff. Say, hey, if this goes the ultimate wrong, do you want me to save you or the baby? And let her have that choice.
Yeah.
But
Have you
help
had
her
that
make
talk?
that choice so that her baby's life isn't just on her consciousness. You guys are a married union. That would be rough.
Yeah,
I
that
think
is.
it
But it's a
would just
necessary
have to
conversation.
try for it.
You want to
Right?
know?
You don't want to have to choose between either or. That's
But-
so shitty.
But without planning,
But if you have
you're
to,
so screwed.
I've been holding this back for a minute.
There's been a lot of
But-
there's been people I know
But you gotta
who went into labor and they woke up without a baby, without a uterus, were not able to forgive
Yeah.
their husband
Ooh.
again because they didn't talk about it.
Oh,
And the husband was like, "Oh
man.
shit, what do I do? Ah,
yeah, it's
save the
definitely
wife."
something you'd want to figure out beforehand.
Oh yeah, because
You wouldn't wanna
otherwise
go
there
into
could be
this-
some.
You wouldn't want to be 6 months pregnant and be like, shit, what are we going to do?
Oh,
You'd want to know
man.
beforehand.
Oh, I was talking like even if she is pregnant, just have that conversation. It might be good before she goes into labor. Like, okay, this is a potentiality, very low potentiality, but it's there. Like, what do you want to do? Because that's a potential decision.
I've been this is so fucking out of left field, and I'm sorry for this, but I've been holding this back for a minute. Since we started having this conversation, I've been on like a fucking full trip. I last night had like the most vivid dream of my life that I was pregnant and going through fucking labor. I'm not even shitting you. I had this full dream, and I woke up and I remember just thinking,
Were you pooping
what?
the bed?
No, I was like, I remember thinking, what the actual fuck? Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why it just happens in my life, I guess. Fuck, I don't know.
I appreciate it.
Yes. Watch The Midnight Gospel, please. You'll probably know where that stemmed from in my brain. That is
Oh, the Midnight Gospel.
it's
I love that
such a
show.
good- dude, it's the
It's
only
It's weird.
it's my favorite.
It's
I think-
interesting.
I think that last episode is the only, like, I think only 2 times in my life have I cried watching from watching a movie or a show. That last episode, I sobbed like a fucking baby.
Is that the one with his mom?
Yeah.
Who, like,
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that was intense.
Yeah, it was. It was
That got
damn
crazy.
good.
Watch the Midnight Gospel.
Yes.
You're gonna be like, what the fuck is this?
Jakey told me that.
I've been preaching it.
Now I've got to try it.
It's
It's a good one. Rob.
Just
I enjoy it.
yeah.
So are you pro or against it?
Abortion?
Pro.
Yeah.
Didn't you say pro at the beginning?
No, I said it is up to the choice of the parents. I'm against it for the most part.
Well, I think we should remain with the premise. None of us are like.
Yeah,
none
we-
of us
yeah,
are
we
like,
have to make it straight.
Hell yeah,
Not
let's
necessarily.
throw an abortion
No,
party.
You
but-
can't have an opinion.
Yeah, none of us have
Very-
had an abortion.
The very base level, I am against abortion.
Sure, me too.
Yeah.
But overall,
Well,
pro. I'm not
No,
going to go out of my
I'm
fucking way. No, I'm saying
pro-choice.
for me, pro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, pro-choice.
You know, it's
because it's none of the government's business.
You know, it's
No.
yeah.
But very against all moral and ethical principles
I agree
within
because
my
you're,
own
you're
self.
killing somebody.
Exactly, it's murder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting because I think this kind of is a reflection.
Common
It's like
ground.
You have a lot of people. Well, this has been turned into a polarity where it's like you're either pro-choice or you're pro-life. But when you think it's kind of like religion. It's like all these people go to the same church. The person next to you does not have the same religion as you do.
No.
And their beliefs are not the same beliefs. They're not even close. You know what I mean? So it's like when one person says pro-choice and the other says pro-choice, there's no way in fuck that your
You
your
got to
thoughts,
get down to the bottom of it.
well, your thoughts aren't even close. It's like you're under the same banner in essence, I guess. No, not even in essence. You're under the same banner very, very broadly, just in the sense that you end up using the same word. But good God, is all of this stuff so different. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, Zave, let's hear from you.
All right.
Yeah.
Your
See how many-
thoughts on the abortion thing.
The abortion. Okay. So I like what you said, where you said to have it more morally and like in society kind of frowned upon. Like, that's not good. But I do.
And it kind of is now, but it's not nearly stressed enough.
It's not stressed at all, in my opinion. It depends on where you are and what groups you're around.
In religion, they teach,
Oh,
it's not good. But it's, I mean, in some instances, it's even a prideful thing where it's like, oh, yeah, I've had this many abortions. Yeah.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
I hate that.
See,
That's-
but I
yeah,
don't
that's
think
pathetic.
the people that
You're not a human, you're a cemetery.
Yeah.
oh my gosh, that is
All right.
that is a hellfire roast.
Mine can get summed up pretty quickly.
insane.
I believe it should be legal. I do not think it should happen all the time. I do believe both the parents need to sign for it.
Yes, I do believe the father must have
Yes, a say in
must
it.
have a massive say.
If
in
the
it.
father wants to keep the kid or one of the parents wants to keep the kid, I believe you need
You
to have
can't
the kid. Yeah,
abort-
you can't abort it.
Saw a video the other day. This father was sobbing outside of an abortion clinic, saying, "Don't kill my baby."
Yeah,
it was pretty.
I'd be the same
pretty
way.
sad. Oh yeah,
Like, if my
Yeah.
wife wanted to kill the baby, I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
So I think both parents have to be involved. They both have to make that decision, unless obviously the father's not there and you can't find him. Then it's like, okay, whatever. But I do think it should be heavily frowned upon, but I do think it should be legal. And I also think it's murder, and I think it's disgusting, and I would never do it.
Yeah, we all need to make that clear. I don't think
Even-
any of
even
us
if
would
I
go out of
fucked
our
up.
way.
Even if you fucked up and it's like, okay, got this chick pregnant, and you don't want to be with her,
Responsibility.
have the
Take
kid.
that responsibility. Yeah, I totally agree on that as well.
Mm-hmm.
If
But-
it's if it's a convenience thing,
Yeah, if it's
I
a
think
convenient
if it's a
thing,
convenience thing, to me it ends up being extremely morally outrageous. But
I will tell you, my views on this were not always this way. When I was, we'll say, quite a few years ago, I was thinking about it. End of middle school, early high school, and I was just like, man, if I were to have a kid right now, would I even be able to take care of it? Would I even be able to give it a good life? Would I want to adopt it out and have it wonder where the hell its parents were and why they didn't like it, why they decided to give it up, all this jazz? And I was like, man. And I was kind of for it back then, because I didn't even think of adoption as a viable option because it seemed like it would just put so much emotional trauma upon a kid. But
better.
But
he have
murder
the
is
better. Well,
Yeah.
fuck. At least let
better
the little,
emotional trauma than no choice.
Yeah, I was gonna say, at least let the little fucker decide if he likes his life. or
Exactly.
not.
So what I'm saying is I've learned and I've grown and I have come to a
Yeah.
better conclusion in my mind.
Yeah, I'm just being a fair weather friend today. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm being very I'm aware that it was a very limp wristed
You're a
answer that
fart
I
in a
gave.
windstorm.
Yes, yes, because Zave will say something and Jesse will say something I'm like, oh, big fact. You say something, I'm like, oh, big fact. Yeah, it just happens like that. But I must tie back to when you said that. That was the fucking most aggressively hilarious
Cemetery.
thing I've ever
God,
heard. That is a hellfire roast if I've ever heard one. That would be the darkest and most violent thing to do to another person.
No, I think murdering
You are a
them would be.
cemetery. Yeah. You're right. I agree.